Good morning, everyone. My name is Imran Farouk, and I would like to welcome all of you on behalf of the Green Institute for Village Empowerment, GIVE. Today marks our first symposium of the year, and GIVE is a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting and educating the principles of sustainability worldwide. Our chairman, Ali Sahabi, defines sustainability as the balance of environmental, economic, and social interests. This symposium today can only be made possible by our sponsors. Our major sponsor today is SE Corporation. Our breakfast sponsor is Consolidated Contracting. Our lunch sponsor is Nardi and Associates. And our reception sponsor is HMC Architect. And the event will be followed by a reception at Citrus City Grill immediately following the program. And today we are fortunate also with our topic being climate change, reducing our global carbon footprint in the digital age. I would be remiss if I didn't include the fact that all of our symposiums are always broadcast live on the internet. And so we have students from different chapters throughout the world, such as UC Berkeley, USC, UC Riverside, and even international chapters in China and in Jamaica. So to reduce the global carbon footprint, and so everyone is able to interact and ask questions live to the various speakers. So without further ado, I would like to actually introduce the first speaker today. Her name is Bonnie Montoya May. She is the chair of the U.S. Green Building Council Inland Empire chapter. And I want to note that we are actually a chapter that's recently formed, and it really a testament to Bonnie's leadership and efforts for this effort to be underway. And we're very grateful, and also grateful for the fact that the U.S. Green Building Council Inland Empire chapter helped facilitate and organize the event along with GIVE. So everybody, please help me welcome Bonnie Montoya May.
Well, on behalf of U.S. Green Building Council Inland Empire organizing chapter members and board, we would like to thank GIVE for inviting us to participate today and inviting us to help organize the panels. We are especially thankful to GIVE for bringing Rick Fedrizzi here as our keynote speaker today out into the Inland Empire. I had the opportunity, as a number of people here today did and many of our members did, to attend Green Build in Chicago just this past October. There were almost 20,000 people in attendance, engineers, architects, planners, developers. It was my first Green Build, and I was overwhelmed by the amount of information that is now available. And I came back inspired, as did many of my colleagues, to implement everything that I learned. The organizing, Inland Empire Organizing Chapter began around May of 2007. We're barely 6 months old and still organizing. And since we began our efforts to organize, we have literally had a snowball effect. Our interest list has now grown to about 400. We are getting requests for information weekly. We had our first, or hosted our first lead technical review for new construction at University of California, Riverside just last month. It sold out in 5 days. There were 90 people in attendance. So that tells you a little bit about how hungry we are for information out here in the Inland Empire. We have a great program for you today. You're going to hear about what our chapter is doing. You're going to hear about the first LEED home being built in San Bernardino County. We're going to crunch some numbers and look at projects on a worldwide level. And then we're going to turn to some architects and engineers and managers who are going to present about a little bit about the more than 52 projects that are actually going on in San Bernardino and Riverside counties. I know it's hard to take a whole day off in the middle of the week, but we have a lot of information to share with you today, and we hope you can stay for the whole program. If you've got to leave and come back, please do. Some of the afternoon panels are going to be quite significant. And now I would like to introduce Daniel Kozad, Director of the Green Valley Initiative. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Good morning. It's my pleasure to be able to make an introduction and just say a few words about the person who has sort of made all of GIV's efforts possible. And I know there's probably not too many people in the audience who've not had the pleasure of meeting Ali Sahabi. Ali has a long history in working with cities, with folks in the Inland Empire, and of course in taking the whole process of permitting Dos Lagos as it went from probably 11 or 12 years of pre-construction development. That's when I met Ali, and he was the only developer who came to me when I was the general manager at the Santa Ana Watershed Project Authority and said, I'm really concerned about the aquifer underneath my project, and I would like help in figuring out how to do something that's really good for the environment with that. It was more common for somebody to come and say, I'm really worried that someone will make me do something with the aquifer underneath my development. So I knew from the beginning that Ali was a special person. He has funded the Green Institute for Village Empowerment and really worked to bring leaders together to support the kinds of things you'll hear about today, and really bring about sort of a difference in the areas and communities that he works in. The Green Valley Initiative is the local implementation project of GIVE, and its focus is really on bringing the two counties together to work on things that develop jobs, green policy, and to step out beyond what cities and counties are already doing, not by forcing them into doing it, by educating them, by helping them and helping them develop policy that will, for the future, make huge differences in the Inland Empire and make this a place where every green and environmental company wants to have their assembly plant and their manufacturing organization and their lead consultants work out of this area, developing jobs so we each spend a little less time on the freeway. If you came from San Bernardino today, you don't need an explanation as to why that is. So without further ado, that means Ali will stand up and come down this way. I would like to introduce to you Ali Sahabi, the chairman of the Green Institute for Village Empowerment, and